Hello everybody and welcome to Quality Sewing and Vacuums Tuesday. How do I? My name is Andrea and I have a lot of really exciting things to share with you today. I had so much fun with this How Do I today. If you're like me, you have dads, grads, and brides to celebrate in the next couple of weeks, and I have all of those. So what better way to celebrate that special person and that very specific special moment than making them a candy lei? So we are going to be doing a lot of designs out of the ScanNCut, which I absolutely love, as you can tell, and how you can go from our Canvas workspace that comes with your brother's ScanNCut. So we're going to be working in those things today, but first, let's make a candy lei. We're gonna hop over here and I'm gonna show you really quickly how I make one. So I've got my candy laid out right here. I just get the clear cellophane that you can get where you buy wrapping paper, and I just pull it out so that it's the length of my arms, about this long, and that makes a good enough size. When you do that, you can get about 4 or 5 leis when you cut them out of that long strip like that. I cut those down into about 4 or 5 strips so you can make about 4 or 5 candy leis out of that one thing. Okay, so the width of it is about 5 to 6 inches right here. And you can see that I've just laid some candies down here. These are little Hershey Kisses that I glued the little ends together so they stay together. They make kind of a fun shape. And then the next thing I do is I have my little, it's a tape gun, I think, a little thing like this with some tape or glue in it. And I just put a little bit of the tape on the back of the candies right here. And you want to make sure, these ones are kind of hard to do, but you want to make sure there's a little bit of space, about 1.5 inches in between these guys, so there's space for it to crinkle up and tie. So I take one side and I just kind of press it down where I put that tape gun. And then I put a little bit more on there, and this just helps the process go a lot faster, especially if your daughter volunteers you to make 8 to 10 candy leis for all the graduating seniors on her water polo team. Not that I have any experience with that. Okay, so this is just an example of this. So once I have that taped and it's kind of all staying together, I will flip it like this, and then you'll want some curly ribbon like so. And I've cut out a bunch of pieces, about 10 inches long or so, and then you just quickly go through and tie them all, like, just give it a double tie. It's nothing super fancy or special, but you just go the whole length of that all the way down, and then you can make your beautiful candy lei. Well, I made one for my husband, but my husband he's trying not to eat so much candy lately. So I thought, well, what else could we do? I'm going to set these aside down here. And I thought, well, what else can we put in a candy lei? And so in here, I found some little air fresheners for your car. And these are ping pong balls, but if your husband is, or the father in your life is like a golfer, you can put golf balls in there, or anything. I was even thinking like Legos or Nerf bullets or something fun like that for a guy. So, and there is a few little candies in there. But I was also thinking, I have a bride here coming up soon, and I thought, oh my goodness, what could we put in there? She's going to go on a honeymoon, and I put in here little travel size things like the deodorants, hairspray, body wash, some sunblock, things like that. And these are little bath bombs. How fun is that? How cute. And some little candies, those pink little Hershey's in there too. But this would be really great for a graduate, like a girl graduating high school, but you could also make these guy ones too. Graduates when they're going off to college and things. So it's super interchangeable. Okay, and then we have just a regular old candy one right here. And we're going to go through and I'm going to show you what to do next. Now you've got your candy lei, and you just take these little ends and you tie those little things together like that, and then they fit right over the head. And what we're going to do with the ScanNCut is we are going to put the embellishments around the side. So it showcases either their high school, or it says dad, or it says bride, or whatever. So, okay, let's go over here to the other side to my ScanNCut and my computer. So when you get your ScanNCut, I have the DX version that also has Disney in it, which is super fun. It also comes with the technology for you to download Canva's Workspace. And what I love about that, I'm not sure if we're gonna hook it up there. Oh, there it is. Okay, so when you open it up, down here at the bottom, it looks like a little kaleidoscope thingy with rainbow colors right there. It looks like this when you open it up. I'm going to just make my screen bigger so you can actually see it. Okay, so when you go over to the side here, it looks like a little notebook with a leaf on it. It says Canvas Projects Pattern Collection. And that's where we're gonna go, because inside here, there are tons of free SVG files for you to cut. They also have little videos and tutorials of how to make them right in there. But what we're gonna do, we're gonna hack some of these things. Some things that were made for something else, we are going to make into our leis. So we're gonna go into the search here, and I'm gonna put in the word rosette. And this is the first one we're gonna do. We are gonna work on making a high school these little rosettes with the high school lettering in it. And we're gonna go over here. It's rosette number 2. We're gonna click on that. And here you can see, aren't those so cute? We're gonna make those, but in high school colors. It's so great. So you can see that there are 4 actually different things that you can download. I already have saved those into my computer, but let's go ahead. We need to cut out these. I have all of these other things pre-cut out. And for right now, we need to make these little guys. These are little like ribbons. So I clicked on that, you saw it, thought about it. Oh, right here, get recipe, right here. This is where you are going to get your instructions of how to make these little guys, if you need some reference right there. So I'm gonna exit out of there. Voila, look, there's my little ribbon things right there. Huzzah. Okay, now what we need to do is we need to talk to my computer is hooked up to my ScanNCut. So I'm going into File. I'm going to go to Export right here, and it's going to go Transfer FCM file via the internet or over the cloud. I'm going to click on that, and then I'm going to wake up my ScanNCut all the way. I'm going to go to this. I did not set this up so you could see this. On my home page right here, when I just open up the machine, down at the bottom it has like a little file, and it says retrieve data. And I'm gonna go to that button, and I'm gonna press retrieve my data. And then there's this button that looks like it literally has a cloud on it. And I'm gonna click on the cloud button right there, and it's gonna talk. My laptop is talking to my machine, and oh, hold on. It isn't hooked up to the wire, the Wi-Fi. Can we do that, Chris?
I didn't see what that.
Oh, let me see. Now I've got to figure out how to hook up. I did not think about that, guys. It just automatically hooks up at home on my Wi-Fi there. Let me see. Machine information. Anyways, that's going to put a hamper in things because I have everything saved onto my My computer. The best sleep plans, right, everybody? That's so awesome. Oh, my connection. Ooh, maybe that is, yes. Okay, so I'm scrolling over. I'm finding this button called My Connection, and it has like the little Wi-Fi thing on it. My Connection. Hi, Chris. He is our guy that helps us with all this. Select send to send data, your wireless, and then select retrieve.
We need to actually connect to the internet.
Yeah. Can we go to that one?
Yeah.
Our best laid plans. Sorry, guys. I didn't realize I had to do this. Retrieve. Ooh. Wireless LAN. Oh.
Okay.
I didn't like that either. So as we're doing this, I'm going to talk a little bit about these guys that we have here. I'm going to let Chris look at that for a second. So what you want to do, these are what we are creating right now. Do you see these cute little rosettes? They are so adorable. And sorry, you can't scoot in on look at it because Chris that zooms in is here. So anyways, these are the little rosettes with all the school letters in it, like South Kitsap High School is the one that I'm making it for, so it'll be SKHS. So I have all of these guys already pre-made. So what you want to do in order to have these letterings pop is you want to have a background. And so that's what we are going to be doing today is we're going to be creating these cool backgrounds so we can let the lettering or the sports balls that we are going to be honoring those students with stand out. So I made these little guys right here. This is a water polo ball, not to be confused with a volleyball because my daughter informed me that they are very different. They are apparently, but it looks exactly like a volleyball. So anyways, I did, because I don't have a volleyball in the machine itself, I actually AI'd the volleyball and this little splash of water. And if you guys wanted to learn more about how to use AI with your ScanNCut, I just a couple months ago, I did some tutorials on how to do that, which was really cool. I'm gonna sneak over here, Chris, and grab those really quickly. So these are the images that I actually AI'd. I printed them out on my printer, just like that. I scanned them through my ScanNCut. Is it hooked up, or we need a password? I scanned these into my ScanNCut, and then I just went right around the edges of that, and then that's how I got out these cute little designs for this water polo ball, because that is definitely not in, if they don't have a volleyball, they're not going to have a water polo ball just in the ScanNCut itself. So that's kind of small. You can see, like if I have this candy lei, it just gets lost inside the lei because there's so much going on. It's so busy. And so you want to create some sort of a backdrop to put these specialty items on. And here, I made a bunch of these fun flowers just like this. And they're all different fun, bright colors and shapes and sizes. And so today I'm going to show you how to put these on. And then when you put the water polo ball, because they're completely different colors, right on there, you can see how it really highlights the ball and makes it 3D, right like that. Okay, so one thing I really love about our machine is their little stylus that comes with it. I use this to curl all the edges of the petals, right like this. See how cool that is? And then it makes it even more, less like a piece of paper and more like a flower, right like that. We're set up? Oh, Chris! Yay! Thank you, Chris. That was so awesome. That makes it go a little bit better. Okay, hopefully, cross our fingers. Okay, we're gonna go back there. So, since we're talking about these flowers, I'm gonna go back over to my computer and I'm gonna pull up this so we can talk about this just a little bit. So this one in your machine, well, actually, since I've got it right here and I've got that pulled up, we're gonna go back to those little ribbons. And if you want to go overhead really quickly, I'll show everybody what we're gonna be doing right here. These are the little ribbons right here that we need to cut out. And I'm gonna show you how to put those on and make this little rosette right here. Okay, I'm gonna set this aside right like that for a second. So I've got this on my computer right here, and then I'm going to go to File, Export, and I'm going to go to the picture that has the little image of the Wi-Fi right there. And then I go over to the main screen over on my ScanNCut, and I go to a big one that says Retrieve Data. And then I'm going to go to the button that has a cloud. It literally has a cloud on it with like a pocket. And I'm going to press on that. And they're going to talk to each other, and it's just going to dump it right in there. And voila, there it is. What you saw on here now is showing on my screen. So one thing that I do love about our ScanNCut that is so different than any other cutting machine is that it scans your area first. So you can use up any pieces of a paper, even if they're oddball sizes. So we're going to try and use up this area right here. And I'm going to put this down on my cutting mat, right like so. And one thing that I always like to have on hand, I have this OESD tearaway tape with me, but you can use any embroidery tape. And with this glitter cardstock or any cardstock, I really, really love to use some tape and tape down the edges because it is so hard and stiff. And sometimes as it's cutting, it can like pop the really stiff paper off of your little cutting area. So I like to just put a little bit of tape on there so it doesn't pop it off. And I also use this when I use vinyl as well. Okay, so I've got this ready to go. I'm gonna load this into my machine. Press the load button there. I'm gonna move that out of the way so that can go there. And let me see. I was gonna say, can we turn this around? Maybe that would work. So you guys can see all these cool buttons that I'm pressing because it's important to know. How about that? Does that work? Can we zoom in there? What did I do with my stylus? Oh, it's right here. Okay, we're gonna use my stylus a lot. So I've got my random all cut up piece of paper that I have here. I'm going to go to this button here that is going to scan my mat. And I'm going to press yes. I think that's what it is. It's hard to see it from the side here. And it's gonna scan my whole area. And then I'm gonna be able to move around my images to fit into the paper. Right, like that. Okay, I'm gonna lean over here. It's really hard to see, but you can see the area of my piece of paper, and all four of those little images are right here. And some is not even, they're like all over the place. So I could get two of those out of that main part right there, but I'm going to have to move two of my little pieces over here. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and they are good to go. Isn't that awesome? I have a friend who has to like meticulously measure it out in order to get it into her scrap pieces of paper. But just like that, it is good to go. I'm gonna press OK, we're ready to cut. Please select what do we wanna do with this. We wanna cut it. And then I'm gonna press start. And you always want to check and make sure that it's not on half cut. Half cut is for when you're doing vinyls, basically, heat vinyl or pressed vinyl. So we want to cut it all the way through. We don't want to do a half cut. So that's also something you want to keep in mind. Okay, well that is cutting. Let's go over here and I'm going to show you how to make these super adorable rosettes. They are so super easy, super fast. Okay, I'm going to bring over a couple of these little parts and pieces. Oh my gosh, it finished already, but we're going to keep going with this. And then we'll grab that off there in just a second. Okay, so when you cut those out, it looks like this. It looks like a little cog right there. And what I've done is I've curled all the pieces like this. It looks like a little spider now. Now, your school colors are there's usually two main colors, and then you'll have like a third accessory color. In this case, it is the gold. Or you could use silver or white, whatever. Okay, so here we are. We're going to use the stylus again that comes with your machine. About halfway through, I'm going to bend all these little tips in. The tips are going to go into the center because we want to glue down those tips. Now, if you wanted to make this more flat so it didn't poof up so much, like if you're putting on a card or something, you could just fold those just flat down. But I want them to be a little poofy. So I'm going to use this and curl my papers down like so. And so I made about 40 of these little guys to make 7 candy lace the other day. And I found that using a hot glue gun is going to be your best bet. The glue and tape and those types of the regular glue is going to take forever. So I'm putting a little tiny drop of hot glue in 4 of the little cogs, just like that. If you want to do it fast and not have to wait like a full minute with each little piece of thing and like have to retape and retape, I highly suggest this. Especially if you're using regular paper, it may not be as bad, but with the cardstock, doing it fast with the hot glue gun is definitely the way to go. But also keep in mind that a little bit of this hot glue goes a long way. It's no fun to burn our fingers. Okay. Just like that, just like that. Cool. Okay, we've got that first cog done. And I'm going to do this next cog really fast. 2, 3, 4. Right like that. Squish it down. And then these are just going to sit one inside of the other. Whoop. Hold that down for just another second until it cools all the way. So I am interested to see what kind of celebrations you guys are going to be using these for. Maybe it's somebody's 40th birthday, maybe it's somebody's 80th birthday, maybe you want to make one for the 4th of July for somebody or something like that. Okay, cool that down just a wee bit more. Now I'm going to flip this over. You can do it this way or this way. I just think it looks more clean if you put both of the icky sides together. And they just fit one right inside of the other, just like that. Looking so cool. Get my thing off there. Okay, put a little dab of glue in there. Cog those to fit those little cogs together, right like that. Boom, we've got that one done. And, oh, I already have it out here. And in the instructions, one of the little things has the little dots already. And they only have a couple of letters in there. They have like 4 letters of the alphabet in that design. I'm not sure why, but if you go into the Canvas workspace itself, they have tons of really cool lettering that you can cut out. And so I found this one, it was pretty cool. And then usually I have a pair of tweezers with me, but I forgot them at home. I'm just going to put a little glue like that. And super or hot glue is really great for gluing on top of the glitter as well, because regular tape and glue does not like to hold glitter so well. Okay, we got that. And then we're going to put a little dot in the middle right here as well. And then you just drop that right into the center. Let it cool for a second, and voila, we've got our little rosette. Now you can use them just like this if you wanted to. Oh, there we go. You can use them just like this if you want to. They're pretty cool. But I finished these little guys right here. These are the little ribbons. Just gonna stick those on the side. I reuse these little tapes usually for my whole project. So I'm gonna set these on the side, right like that. Oh, this is the most satisfying part. Isn't that so cool? You peel it off and it's beautiful. Okay, get my little spatula here, maybe. There we go. Usually I like to bend my cutting mat, and that pops up a corner of that, right like that. Okay, so these are really made for double-sided paper, but since this is only one side, I'm just gonna grab my scissors here, and I'm gonna cut it in half, like so. And then I'm going to make it look cute, like as if I had folded it in half. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I'm gonna put a little dot right there. Glue it together again. And then one more little piece of glue right there. And is that the right way? Making sure I'm not putting this S on backwards. I don't think it matters. Okay, and right like that, we have a cool little pendant. You could do these all that say dad in them, or grad, or whatever you want. But doing the high school letters is really cool that way. Okay, so now you can take these over to your candy lei. Which one is it? Right here. And I usually like to lay it out in half so you can kind of see where it's going to end up. So you got to make sure that, you know, you don't put them too high up here, because that will go behind the neck. But you can South Kitsap High School just like that. And then you can hot glue those on. Okay, I may put them down a little bit lower, put a little hot glue right there. Now for this, if you're worried about it going through the hot glue, which it does melt the cellophane above it a little bit, what you can do is you can use the glue dots, which also work great for this part as well, those big old glue dots. And right like that, we have our high school candy lei, like that. And then you can add the flowers over onto this other side, right like so. Get in that variety and the different sizes. I'm going to throw these on over here. Now you want it to kind of give it an organic, I'm gonna come over here, might be a little bit easier. An organic look. So they're all just gonna be kind of all over the place. Bigger ones, smaller ones, like that. We're gonna throw in a tiny little one right here. Throw in another one maybe like right here. Right on top of the other one to give it some dimension. And then throw one in behind, right there, and that right there. Voila, look at that. Look how fun that is. Now this one could be for a girl. And what I did with the girls water polo team is I put the little ball like right here in the flowers, so you could really see, and it made the ball pop and made it really cute. So I'm going to leave this one blank so I can add other things to it. All right. Oh, I think I glued it to the table right there. All right. Moving on. We're going to go to our next one, which is we're going to make a boy one. We have lots of girl ones. I'm going to make a boy one now. Now, we're going to be working with these little guys. These are like little rosettes as well. Oops. They like to call these rosettes in there a lot. Beautiful little guys. Look at how they have all these different sizes and different colors. Or not different colors, but I made them different colors. These are more of the same high school colors right here. And then inside of the machine, they have a football. Now this is just in the machine itself. So I was able to cut out this football image right here. And then what I did for the back, these two backgrounds, is I echoed this main football shape to get the black and the gold. And I'll show you that in just a second here. But let's go back to these cool rosettes. So would you believe it, but these rosettes were to make a Christmas tree. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go hop back into the Canvas workspace really quickly. And we're gonna go back here. And I'm gonna put in the word rosette again in our search engine. And here is the rosette Christmas tree. And they pop out these weird, funny looking shapes right here. So these ones were really big, and I didn't think we needed them quite that big to put on a candy lei. So I went to the next size and the next size smaller. So there's a medium and a small one. Okay, so I've already cut out a bunch of these, and I want to show you how to make these guys really quickly. So when you cut them out, they look like this. How bizarre, huh? And then we are going to actually cut out two of them. In order to make one rosette, you need two. Okay, so there they are. They're exactly the same. I just folded one, and this one I haven't folded yet, so I'm going to fold that with you. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that both pieces are facing the same exact way, and you fold both of them exactly the same, and that's how they go together. So I can see that I started by folding this back, and then you just fold it accordion style, like this, back and forth, and just like so. And then there are little perforations right down the center right here. I'm gonna poke that and fold it nice and tight like that. And then I'm gonna make sure that this one is the same. Yep, and then I'm going to fold that the same way as well. So how you fold one, you fold the other one exactly the same, and that's how they puzzle piece together. Okay, so there's a little flap right here, and what I'm going to do, you can either put the glue on either side of the flap. It just depends on if you're worried about seeing the little tab or not. But for the sake of just ease, I'm going to just put it on that side and just put it right together like that. Okay, we're going to squeeze it shut a little bit, make sure that that stays really well, but make sure that the glue doesn't seep out because you need that to stay. You want that to open. I mean, you want it to stay, but you also want it to open. Okay, so I'm going to put some glue right here on this tab as well. So as you're looking through all of these free SVG files for cutting, I think they call them something else, like FMC files in your Canvas workspace, look at them, really look at all the parts and pieces and see how else you can use these items. Oh, look at that. That's so cool. Looking great. Okay, so we're going to open that just a little bit more. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to glue that together. I'm going to put a little glue right here on that. I'm going to spread it out a little bit. And you're going to want to make sure that you even up that center point and the edge points together. Give it a little squeeze, make sure it's not doing too much, that still opens. Okay, and you can see how it's kind of flappy in the middle right there. I'm going to put a little bead of glue right here as well. We are going to let that cool, but I'm going to open it just a little bit as it cools. So keep that nice and tight together. Put another little bead of glue right there and glue that together right there too. Being careful not to glue your fingers or the other parts that you don't want glued. Okay, and you can see how the little center opens still a little bit, but that's okay because we can stick another little bead of glue, and I'm going to be putting something over the top of that anyways. So there we go. We've got this beautiful little rosette, and I'm using them in two different ways. So it's the same no matter what size or what color you're making. That's how you make these little rosettes. Now, the reason why I wanted to have this cool background is because I wanted to put this cool football on here. Now this football would get lost in all the candy lay part if we just stuck this right on the candy lay itself. So that's why I created these little guys. And what you want to do is have it have kind of an organic feel by putting them together, something kind of like this. We can put a couple touches of glue here. It doesn't take much, which is cool. And as long as they're touching somehow in those glue spots, they'll stay, which is great. And voila. And then you can see underneath, ooh, that spot could use a little bit of glue underneath there, here, and there. And in this case, using those bigger glue dots might be a little more advantageous because it has more space and it's solid too. So, okay. Now I made other colors as well that we're going to put on here. And I'm going to show you a couple different ways that you can use these rosettes. We're going to put this one like right across here. Like so. Let that cool for a second there. Whoop. Stay there. It'll stay better when it's actually on its lay as well. When it's on its candy lay. We're going to stick another one over here. Put some glue right there in that spot. Maybe put a little more glue there. I think it was drying a little fast. Or not drying, I guess in this case it'd be cooling. Okay. So here we go. I've got these different sizes. What I love about that Christmas tree is every time you make one of these, they are different sizes. So all four of these little guys are different sizes there. Okay, but I cut these out the same size. Okay, now we want to find a good spot for our football. Do you think it matters which way it goes? I don't know, I don't play football. So, okay, let's see. Does that look like a great spot for it somewhere in there? That looks great. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add some more glue on here, right like that. I'm gonna put our football in there. And in this case, like if you had, like your son or someone you know has a number, you could also put their number on here as well. And then we've got these little guys that we can add in here. I think I'm going to put it down along this side, this little rosette here. There. You get the idea. And maybe this guy right here. Okay, that way it's more of a guy one. Okay, oh, and then you can put that right onto your candy lay. And look at, so the candy lay would go this way. If this would come down the side like that. That's where I would put that on the candy lay because it kind of goes in this direction. So Cool, huh? Then you can put their number, or any other sports or anything that they're in on that. That's their backdrop, and that's what's going to have their specialty pop. Look at that. You can see that from far away. All right, I'm gonna put that over there. Goes with those really great. Okay, I have a bride this next weekend, and so let's do this really quickly. Now, these are the same things, except this says bride on it. See which way did it go? There it goes. So this little image right here in the middle was actually for a Christmas candy box, like a little label for a candy box. We're gonna go back over to the computer really quickly, and we'll go in here, and I will type in the word candy box. And right here, you can see this little label right here was to be able to use like an ink pen or something. But I really loved the little, I don't know, lacy edge on there. And I thought that would be really pretty. So I utilized this green one, and then I just used some of the shapes over on the side. There was an oval shape that I was able to cut out the middle color right here. So if you wanted to go overhead, I will show you that really quickly. And, oh, here, let's spell it right. Here is our bride. Ta-da! And it has the same idea right here. And we have our last pink one. And so I cut out that, I can't get this off the table. Here is the candy little label that we saw online, and then I just cut out this oval shape that was already in the machine. I just saw it and it looked pretty good. And then I found some lettering that I really loved. So once again, we're gonna grab our rusty, trusty glue gun that my kids have definitely gotten their hands on a time or two. So you can tell it's covered in like paint and stuff. Okay, so with this one, since these are so tiny, these little letterings right here, I'm actually going to use, and it's paper on paper, I am going to use just some good old Embellish glue. Okay, I'm going to make sure that I glue this on right, so I'm spelling it right. Woo! That really came out. So the trick to doing liquidy glue like this is to make it really, really thin. That came out a lot more than I thought it would. We're going to take just a little bit of that off. And tweezers right now would be really great too. All right. And just like that, using those same rosettes and a little bit of hot glue, we have the word bride, just like that. And so we can take this Leis right here that she can, all the fun little things on here she can use for her, her honeymoon. I'm going to preview this first and make sure that these all kind of fit, kind of get an idea of where these are going. All right. And then we just glue those on there, right like that. Kind of get some of the higher spots to make sure that it's touching. Hoping it is. Look at how easy this is. It gets really addicting, believe me. This is just so much fun to make this. And then this one, I'm actually going to have it go that way. Instead of having all the letters follow like that, I'm going to have that, they all go like that. And just like that, we have one for the bride. Oop, I need to redo the D, apparently. I will do that in a minute. Oop, don't stick there. All right. We're going to have that go right there. Okay, the last one that we're going to do really quickly is the dad. We're going to put this guy over there. And we have dad. And I actually used a happy birthday banner to make these, and they were just so cool. So I'm going to load up some blue really quick, just like that. I'm going to put my tape on there because I never trust cardstock on my ScanNCut. I'm going to load it in really quickly. I'm going to press this button right there. That's the load button to load in my mat. And while that is doing its thing, we're going to go back over to here into the Canvas workplace, and I'm going to type in happy birthday, if I can spell it right. There we go. Happy birthday. There is that crazy happy birthday banner. And you can see it's got all the things on it, but I only want a D and an A. So I'm going to go over here, and it thought about it. It took it to here. Oops. I forgot to take out the other ones. Really quickly, we're going to take out those other ones. 2, 3, 4, going to get rid of those. And I don't need the Y, so we're going to take care of that. But I do need another D. So I'm going to go over to Edit really quickly. I'm going to press Duplicate, and we're going to send that over there. Okay, and I'm going to scan my area really quickly. Okay, thank you. I'm going to scan it. I'm going to tell it to start right like that. And while that is scanning, I'm going to go over to my file, and I'm going to export this over to my machine. Once again, I'm going to come down here and press the Wi-Fi. Okay, and it says it's ready to scan over. Oops, and this is why you want to tape. Those little guys right there. Never trust cardstock on here. Okay, let's see if it's done its thing. Okay, so it's got the image of here, and I'm going to press the home. It says, okay, to delete the patterns. I'm going to say, yep, I can delete it. Now this is the spot where you retrieve the data. So I exported it, and it's just waiting to receive it over here. I'm going to press receive data, and I'm going to press the button that has a cloud on it right there. Retrieving. Okay, so as I look at this, I can see that it's a little too big for my area. So what I want to do is go to Edit. I'm going to press these guys, and I want all of them. Okay. And then I'm going to go Object Edit, and then I'm going to go to this button. Can you see how there's images in a box all around them all? I want to get all of them. And then I'm going to go to this one, and this is going to help me adjust the size. And I'm going to adjust it a little bit more. Okay. Then I'm going to click on this. Does it fit yet? No, I'm going to make it just a little smaller. Cool, just like that. We've adjusted it to fit my piece of paper that I have here. Gonna press OK. Yep, that looks great. Yep, that looks great. Yep, that looks great. We're gonna press please select and press cut. And we're gonna start it. I'm gonna take it a second to cut all of that. Now the cool thing about this is it was made to go onto a banner. So it folds on top of itself, and I was able to use, you can see that it's double-sided because I cut it out long ways and I folded it to make this D. And so if you don't have cardstock to cut this out, or you wanted to use like this fancy paper like this, you can, and it'll make it a little more solid, more stable. And then you can put your fun color over the top like that. Okay, so I've got the D, the A. I thought this was really cool, this A, because it has a star for the hole in it right here. And then you can put this somewhere, anywhere on here to make it look even more cool. It'd be cool if it was a different color too. Okay, so really quickly, I'm going to go and grab the dad. One right here. I'm going to slide these out of the way. We've already done all those. We've done all those. That's doing its cutting thing, and I will show you in a second here how to do those. And I didn't, I guess I didn't curl these because I was going to show you how to curl the ribbons really quickly. You take your scissors like this with the blade side. You put it on the side that's already starting to curl, and you just pull it, and you pull it to curl these ribbons a little bit more. Right like so, right like so, right like so. Okay, and then I leave these end ones long, and you can tie these end ones right here to finish it up. And these are so big and kind of crazy that I thought you guys could almost make them look kind of wonky and kind of go inside of each other, kind of like this. You can do it however you want. We'll just throw those on there like that because it was just so much fun to do it that way. Okay, and then maybe we go like that. That looks good too. All right, right like that. And then I am going to take this. I might cut out a different star, but this star is pretty cool. And I thought we could put it like, right like that, right on the corner there for the dad, because dads are the star in June. It's their day, their month to celebrate. Right like that. And then we can hot glue that on, and dad's lei is ready. How fun is that? Okay, so really quickly, while this is done, I'm going to press this, and it's going to unload my mat. And I'll show you just really quickly how the concept of those letters work. If I can get my tape off. Can't get my tape off. There we go. And the paper. Ta-da! Okay, so here's the D. Right here, it has the perforations right there. You're just going to fold it back like so. And if you wanted to put, you could also make this into a banner and put a little piece of ribbon through this, like you fold it over a piece of ribbon. But in our case, we're just leaving it like that. You can put tape on there and stabilize it like that. And then on the second screen of that design, it has the little solid pieces that go inside to make this just like that. So, okay, I hope I didn't overwhelm you with too many ideas, but what I wanted to do is to introduce you into the Canvas workspace, and so you can see that this was a happy birthday design. These rosettes were a Christmas tree, and those other rosettes were to put a tag on a gift. But you can do all kinds of fun things and play with all the different designs inside your ScanNCut. I hope that you have a lot of fun celebrating those people that you love and adore this celebration season, and have a great day.